Hello and welcome students in RKIS science class. Today we will proceed with the same lesson, that is acid, base and salt. In our previous video we were discussing properties of acids. So we will proceed further with the remaining part of properties of acids. Next property of acid is, that is sixth property, acid react with base to form salt and water. To form salt and water. This reaction is called neutralization reaction. Acid can neutralize base and base can neutralize acid. So this reaction is basically known as neutralization reaction. Suppose this is hydrochloric acid react with a base sodium hydroxide or caustic soda. When acid reacts with base, it will form a salt, sodium chloride and water, and keep in mind this reaction is called neutralization reaction. Next, acid react with metal oxide. What happens when acid react with metal oxide? It will again form salt and water. Suppose this is hydrochloric acid and this is metal oxide. Copper oxide is metal oxide. So it will form copper chloride and water. This is, and last property of acid is acids are corrosive. Acids are corrosive. Suppose this is a वुडन ब्लॉक, ये लकड़ी का टुकड़ा मान लेते हैं हम है, and we are going to pour acid on it. Suppose this tube is containing acid, we are pouring some acid on this wooden block. लकड़ी के इस टुकड़े पर टेस्ट ट्यूब के अंदर से हमने एसिड को पावर किया, एसिड डाला. You will see this acid will eat up this wooden block. This shows that acids are corrosive. So this is all about the properties of acids according to class 10th. Now we will proceed further. Properties of base. Just opposite of acid, we are going to discuss properties of base. So properties of base. First, as acids are sour, bases are bitter. Bases are bitter. They are soapy to touch. Soapy to touch. Or you can say they are slippery. Soapy to touch, or you can say they are slippery. Next, they turn red litmus blue. They, just like acids, they can conduct electricity. They can conduct electricity. Why? Because they, just like acids, they also get ionized in water. So because they have charged particles, so they can conduct electricity. You can see with the help of this example. Suppose this is a base in water in aqueous form, it will get ionized in water to produce sodium ions and hydroxide ions. So it will dissociate or ionize in different charged particles, so it can conduct, or bases, they can conduct electricity. Next, after these properties, we are going to discuss next property of bases. As we have discussed earlier, acid acid react with base to form salt and water. And we have already discussed that this reaction is known as neutralization reaction. Next we are going to discuss reaction of base with non-metal oxide. What happens when a base react with non-metal oxide? Suppose this is a base, calcium hydroxide, and this is going to react with carbon dioxide, which is a non-metal oxide. This is calcium hydroxide and this is carbon dioxide, a non-metal base. It will form calcium carbonate and water. Calcium carbonate and water. So this is salt and this is water. So it is very clear that when base react with non-metal oxide, it will form you have to write arrow here, salt and water. Salt and water. So next property, and I think this is the most important property of base. What happens when a base react with a metal? This is most important property of base. It will again form salt and hydrogen gas. It will release hydrogen gas. Suppose this is sodium hydroxide, a base, and when it reacts with zinc which is a metal, it will form Na2ZnO2 and hydrogen. This is salt and this is basically known as sodium zincate. Sodium zincate. So this is all about the properties of base. After discussing the properties of acids and bases, we will discuss Arrhenius concept of acids and base. Arrhenius concept. Next, Arrhenius concept of acids and base. Acids and base. Okay. According to Arrhenius concept of acid and base, what are acids? According to Arrhenius, acids are the substances which get ionized in water to produce hydrogen ions. Acid, for example, suppose this is hydrochloric acid. When it is dissolved in water in aqueous form, it will get ionized to produce hydrogen ion and chloride ion. So when a substance get ionized in water to produce hydrogen ion is known as an acid. So you can take one more example. Suppose this is sulfuric acid in aqueous form, so it will produce hydrogen ion and sulfate ions. Right? So hydrogen ion, the substance which get ionized in water to give hydrogen ion, are known as acids. Generally, hydrogen ion in water found in the form of hydronium ion. Suppose this hydrogen ion in aqueous form, so it will give, these are hydronium ions. So hydrogen ion aqueous is equal to hydronium ion. You have to keep in mind. Now, yes, it is very clear that the substance which produce hydrogen ion in water after dissociation or ionization are called acids. Now acids can be divided into two parts. Acids can be strong or weak. Strong acid The acids which get ionized completely in water to produce a lot of hydrogen ions are called strong acid. Hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, these are strong acid. They get ionized in water completely to produce a lot of hydrogen ions. So they are called strong acids. On the other hand, weak acid, the acid which get ionized in water partially, not completely, partially to produce a small amount of hydrogen ions are called weak acid. For example, organic acids are generally weak acid. For example, this is acetic acid. It gets ionized in water to form acetate ions and hydrogen ions. So, acids can be divided into two parts, strong acid and weak acids. So, simply you have to keep in mind that the substances which produce hydrogen ion in water after dissociation or on ionization are called acids. So, and you can also easily learn now strong acid and weak acid with their examples. Next, base. The water soluble, first of all, the water soluble bases are known as alkali. The water soluble bases are called what? Alkali. Base. Acid produce hydrogen ion in water on dissociation or on ionization. These substances which produce hydroxide ion in water on ionization or dissociation are called bases. So, bases are the substances which produce or which give hydroxide ion in water after ionization or dissociation. Let's take an example. This is caustic soda or sodium hydroxide. This sodium hydroxide or caustic soda will give sodium ions and hydroxide ions after dissociation or ionization in water. You can take another example. This is suppose potassium hydroxide in aqueous form. It will give potassium ion and hydroxide ion. These are hydroxide ions. So simply students, you can understand the substances which give hydrogen ion in water are called acids, or which produce hydroxide ions are called base. Just like acids, bases can also be divided into two parts, two types you can say. Strong base and weak base. Yes, NaOH, sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, these are strong bases. KOH, potassium hydroxide in aqueous form, it will ionize and will give potassium ion and hydroxide ion. So this is a strong base. Among weak bases, ammonium hydroxide or magnesium hydroxide or even calcium hydroxide. Magnesium hydroxide is weak base. Weak base, it will give magnesium ions plus hydroxide ions. So now we will define strong base and weak base. The bases which gets ionized completely in water to produce a lot of hydroxide ions are called strong base. For example, sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide. The bases which get ionized in water to produce a small amount of hydroxide ions are called weak bases. For example, ammonium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide or magnesium hydroxide. So, next point we are going to discuss is, as we have learned that the substances which produce hydrogen ions are acids. The substances which produce hydrogen ions are acids. Some students think that sometimes that all the hydrogen containing substances are acids or they behave like acid. So look at the board and answer some simple questions. Students, this is C6H12O6. You all know this is glucose. Second is C2H5OH. This is ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol. So, are they acids? They contain hydrogen. This also contains hydrogen. So, are they acids? No. Why? Because they do not ionize in water to produce hydrogen ions. So, it simply means that all hydrogen containing substances are not acids. So please keep in mind these two examples. Next we have acids show acidic behavior only in presence of moisture. In absence of moisture, acids do not behave as acids. Just look at the board. Take a test tube. This is a test tube and we have added sodium chloride, NaCl and some sulfuric acid, dilute sulfuric acid in it. You have added what? Sodium chloride and sulfuric acid. They will react with each other and they will form as a result sodium sulfate plus hydrochloric acid in gaseous form. So, as a result of this reaction, hydrochloric acid will release in the form of gas, in the form of vapors. HCl gas. HCl gas is releasing from here. So, what will you do? Bring a dry blue litmus paper. This is dry blue litmus paper. This is dry blue litmus. You will see there will no change in color of this blue litmus. Similarly, next time you will bring a moist blue litmus. This is moist blue litmus. This is moist blue litmus. So this gas, this hydrochloric acid gas will change its color from blue to red. The substances which change the color of litmus, which change the blue litmus red are acids. So this activity simply shows that acids show acidic behavior only in presence of water or moisture. Okay students? That's all for the day. We will meet again in our next video. Have a good day.